Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers! Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves on the cusp of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, even courting a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus. And no, folks, we're not talking about The Mandalorian just yet. We're going to have we're going to have a little short before the main feature that everyone's excited about. That's kind of the logic for doing this at this time, I guess. So, Dragon, Once Upon a Snowman, this kind of came out of nowhere for me. I got to admit, I saw a couple ads for it on Facebook. I didn't even, watch the trailers fully. I was just like, oh, okay, I'll check that out. I'll get to it. Dragon, I got to admit, the Lion King 1.5 angle of it all really delighted me. I mean, this thing is it's just kind of like a quick in and out 5-minute sort of really fun piece of Frozen media, and I enjoy it quite a bit. I certainly like it a lot better than Frozen Fever, which Frozen Fever it had a couple good merits to it. It introduced the snow flurries, but it was really just kind of a marketing ploy from my perspective. And then, Dragon, I think you and I are probably the biggest fans of Olaf's Frozen Adventure on the internet. And we're like the only people that can be like, hey, well, you know what? It wasn't the film's fault that it was put against Coco, which was a bogus move. But on its own, it's a quite delightful little short. Dragon, ironically enough, the thing that you and I, the one piece of Frozen media that we're very divisive on, is the one piece of Frozen media that I really feel like the younger generation has really latched onto, and that's Frozen 2 itself. Dragon, people people about 10 years younger than us or so. Dragon, I've seen so much love for Frozen 2 in the Disney fan community that I don't know, man. I feel like that's the first Disney movie that I've hit where it's like, all right, maybe this is just a kid's movie that's just not meant for me, but it's I don't know. So my relationship with Frozen, of course, we've defended it on the grounds of, it being overexposed. Yeah, it's overexposed, but it's still got a lot of really good things going for it. And we like a lot of the side media for it as well. So Dragon, relatively speaking, I'd say as a Disney fan channel, we're pretty fair on the franchise. Granted, of course, our reception to Frozen 2 was a little lukewarm at best. And like I said, this gets back on the trajectory here after the good documentary that we got about Frozen 2, which did shine some light on some of the production troubles. We get this little thing, and like I said, Dragon, it's delightful. It's Frozen 1.5, and I won't think of it any other way.
Right. But I've kind of noticed that there's been a lot of Olaf in quarantine lately. We've had this, and before this, there's the Olaf at home little mini, like not even really shorts, just kind of like little bumpers. Like if they were on TV, they'd be little bumper ads, like the Toy Story ABC bumper ads way back in the day, almost. And yeah, I love the it's kind of the logic of let's kind of fill in the gaps here within our story. Like Olaf, he gets created, and we don't see him until he kind of pops up in our story later, and we're basically using the first Frozen. For the most, basically, it's like they're thinking, okay. Well, we got a hole we could fill if we wanted to go back to the first Frozen. Perhaps they're thinking, maybe we're a little fearful, a little trepidatious going into Frozen 2, given the divisive nature of it, and again, also under the whole quarantine of it all, we only have so much we can do, speedily at this rate. So again, I can't verify because the animation looks great. I want to say they used updated models, but honestly, I can't place it. Feels like we might use clips for some of this, which makes me think again we're kind of use yet another reason to put it within the first Frozen, back when things were simple, but also back when we can just kind of fill like a little niche there. We don't have to really cover a whole lot of real estate. Do about 7 minutes, and it'll be gold. And we're doing this in the style of kind of I think there are a couple names for this. Tiki kind of went with the Lion King 1.5, which is correct, and the midquel, if you will. Some people just kind of people have been calling this a prequel. Not necessarily. It's because a prequel would be he's nothing.
I think a prequel would be about Olaf's time in Anna and Elsa's childhood. You know what I mean? His memories of that would probably be a prequel.
Sure, but even then, I mean, we kind of saw all that within the within the other two. Olaf's Frozen Adventure and the first Frozen movie. It's kind of covered all there.
And a little bit in here too.
I
Not
know
to
this is like
mention.
this completes. There's literally no there's not much more we
Right,
can do with
right.
that. But I mean, you know, what this really reminded me of, Tiki. It reminds me a lot of two Pixar shorts. It reminds me a lot of Burn E and Doug's Special Missions. A lot of Doug's Special Mission. You ever see that?
I've seen both of them, Dragon, but not in a long time. I don't really remember either of them very well.
Well, they're very much the blue. Doug's Special Mission, particularly, it's very much the blueprint for this. And that's not a bad thing. Those are two great shorts. And again, they're very much in kind of the other way of looking at this, a parallel spin-off short, as in it parallels the narrative. But it's kind of a little spin-off. It's a little outshoot. Like, what if we gave Olaf the kind of the Frozen movie, as it were? But let's see from his point of view.
Mhm.
The parts we didn't see. But yeah, this was quite charming. I heard this was in the works. I didn't know it was coming this fast. And lo and behold, Disney Plus, they got nothing better to do. So there it is.
All right, so we got some comments from Claude. He wants a Frozen animated series. Dragon, what do you think of that? To me, I don't know if that would work as well as Tangled, just because of how exposed Frozen is, and I feel like there'd be a lot of pressure. And we already saw what happened when they kind of expanded the world building of Frozen. It was a little hit or miss in Frozen 2. So I'd be a little bit trepidatious about a Frozen series myself.
It's really interesting because we've seen this done in live action to an extent with Once Upon a Time, and it worked like
Yes,
gangbusters. That's
Claude,
what.
if you haven't seen that Once Upon a Time season, that is absolutely a great a great extension of the Frozen story for sure.
First half of season 4, Claudia, if you want. Actually, I
Mhm.
believe it's now on Disney Plus. I believe they kind of. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but they put it all on Disney Plus. They probably just kind of moved it from there to there. The point being, it's all you can watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's really good. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I know it can work, but and again, like it was kind of latched onto an existing series, though. But honestly, the world of Frozen just within that seems like I mean, I've seen that. I've seen a few comics of just kind of like the day-to-day Frozen-y stuff, and that's the stuff I kind of want to see in Frozen. Just kind of like is kind of the mundane adventures of the Frozen gang. But
Well, I think you and I, our favorite scene in the whole Frozen 2 is probably the charade scene,
I
ironically
know
enough, which
the
is like the
charade
most day to
scene.
day.
Charades and Olaf, basically doing retelling the first Frozen. Those are the best scenes in that movie.
Well, I'm not as much of a fan of that as you know, but
I'm saying they were kind of linked in the charades of it all. So let's just
it's like,
point.
hey, you like Louise? You like Louise?
All right.
That's kind of what I read that scene as, but anyways.
All right. Okay. My point is, I mean, it could work, but I mean, I think Tangled again. I really keep meaning to go back to Tangled. What I saw, it seemed to have great potential.
I've
And I
only
think
seen Tangled once, and I haven't seen the series. I'm very behind on my Tangled lore.
that's what I'm saying. The series looked really promising, and I really kind of want to get back to it. I'm just kind of in the midst of Supernatural at the moment, so that's going to take me a
Oh
while.
God, yeah.
But yeah, I
And
mean,
Dragon, you know what I just started? Like just started. That's also
what?
going to take me a while. The West Wing.
Oh God, it's going to take you. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So like, but I'm on a Sorkin kick, Dragon, so I don't want to stop.
All right. So the point
Anyways.
being, I mean, it'd be the thing those comics also have though is again there is a potential of running out of story landscape which Frozen 2 ran into big time. So I mean it's tricky. I mean I think if they keep it measured, maybe they can make something of it, like keep to like don't have like an ongoing thing. Maybe if they have an ending,
I
perhaps. I don't
honestly
know.
think what they're doing with the shorts, I've said this before, but I think what they're doing with the shorts is kind of perfect for kind of expanding the narrative of Frozen. I really think they should just keep doing what they're doing there.
So in that respect, I mean, a short form like television show could work for more like let's just go really short form. Let's go back to the olden days, Teague. Let's not go the Big Hero 6 route. Nothing against that route, but let's just say let's go back to like the recess days, man. I have like 11-minute shorts. Like, what if we did that with Frozen? For like a shorter engagement. Let's say like a 6-episode
Well, I
season
mean,
or
if it's
something.
more slice of life, then sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just
My
take the
whole
cash.
my whole argument about a Frozen series is that I worry if they would try and go too ambitious with the storytelling, considering I feel like the world building of Frozen is taken more seriously by the fans than a lot of other Disney fairy tales. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure, exactly. I mean, I want to flesh out. I want to get to know the characters. Sure, like the idea that they're
Right,
going, they're
right.
hanging out and doing charades on the weekends. Like I'm down for that.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, so yeah, let's. Also, Claudia says he wants to see a prequel to Tangled. I don't think that would go as well, but that's just me. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I've only seen Tangled the one time, so I honestly don't remember how much of Rapunzel's childhood we see, but it could be interesting because remember, Dragon Rapunzel does have a pretty effed up childhood. She's trapped in that tower the whole time.
Yeah,
So,
that is a fair point. Then I realize, yeah, when the series probably covered a little bit of the ground, hence the idea, perhaps. So maybe I'm missing
uh
something substantial there. So fair point.
right,
Okay,
right, right, yeah.
okay. Let's. I guess let's dive right into it then. Let's start talking. Once Upon a Snowman.
Okay, so I love how this short kind of just unabashedly just jumps right into Let It Go, just on the first frame, Dragon.
Oh yeah, there's a great meta quality to this whole
Oh,
short.
oh,
It's basically this meta quality to because again, Frozen became such an over the night phenomenon that it's like Let It Go is like both. It's like a blessing, but also a curse to all the parents'
oh, it's
ears.
absolutely a curse, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Again, a great moment, great song. Even Elsa's rolling her eyes at in Frozen too. Give that movie some
Dragon,
credit.
you know what? I'm just gonna get up on my soapbox for just a minute. I still remember Thanksgiving 2013 when I saw Frozen in theaters, seeing Let It Go without any of the context we know now of like, oh God, this is gonna be like the earworm of the decade, and little kids are just not going to be able to shut up about it, and Disney's not going to be able to shut up about it. Dragon, in the moment, in the context of the film, with the animation, it's an amazing sequence, and I knew immediately that I'm like, oh, this is a new part of your world. This is a whole new world. You know what I mean?
Right, and
Like
again, I
I
agree.
could tell immediately that this was going to be an iconic Disney thing.
Absolutely, and again, definitely a very pivotal and very powerful kind of tent pole moment within that film for sure. It's
Oh,
it's a big moment. And also, I like that. What I'm saying is, I love that like the meta quality to, um, we're kind of revisiting this, knowing what we know now. It's kind of
right,
going back
right.
there, which is quite fun. But also, just the tone of the whole thing. I love that basically, okay, so do Let It Go. We linger on the created Olaf, and I think that's like the genius
Mm,
place that we approach this from. Okay, well, what if we use Olaf to circumvent all the Frozeny stuff that people are like, oh my god, instead of freaking out about? It's like, yeah, well we lean more towards Olaf during this stuff. And we're also kind of calling out the fact that look at Ala Frozen 2 and Olaf's Frozen Adventure and such. We've been and the short itself, we're leaning towards Olaf these days. Olaf is kind of a breakout star. I mean, the kids go crazy for that
sure,
little
sure.
snowman and Frozen 2, whether you love him or hate him. I'm the love camp, but I'm just saying, it's I love that we're kind of calling that out too, very in a really fun meta way, not just the Frozen phenomenon, but also just kind of the Olaf, like, yeah, we're throwing the snowman at you, but with a point. Like they buy it back by the end of it, which really charmed me.
Mm.
Great
Right. So
Olaf, and then the
Elsa
cape
takes off her
flourish.
yeah, Elsa takes off her cape and it hits Olaf right in the face. Bam, goes tumbling down the hill. The song abruptly ends. And
So again,
that's
it's
very
just
Lion King 1.5, Dragon. That is very Lion King 1.5.
we rarely talk about. I mean, you really liked Lion King 1.5, right?
Oh, Dragon Lion King 1.5 might be my favorite of the direct-to-video Disney sequels, which, that might be fake praise, but there's some decent movies in there, and I think
There
Lion
are.
King 1.5, like, above and beyond any of them.
I mean, I can name
Yeah,
five of the good, direct
yeah,
vision
I'm a big fan of
movies
Lion
ever.
King 1.5, Dragon. Big
I mean,
fan.
there's no King of Thieves, but it is quite good.
uh-huh.
All right. So, but yeah, I mean, it sets the perfect tone right there of okay, yeah, this is like Olaf pops his head as we're seeing the ice castle form. Like, no, 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 we're not focusing on the ice castle right now. We're focusing on the snowman. It's his story, hence the once upon a
Snowman.
snowman. Okay, so
Snowman.
yes,
All right.
so I love that. Basically, we're doing Olaf. We're kind of seeing Olaf's Frosty moment, which is also quite funny. A lot of Frosty the Snowman shenanigans for Olaf. You become out. I'm alive. I can talk. I can juggle, which is a direct Frosty reference, by the way. I can juggle. I can
Uh-huh.
count. Well,
Uh-huh.
I can. But it's like I can juggle. No, I cannot. Just it's
A little
got too
too ambitious
confident there.
there.
A little too confident there. So, and honestly, to you, that right there, I love that this is what we need after Frozen 2, this short. Because again, it's like one, it has the safety cushion. If we're in the first movie, everyone loved the first movie. But beyond that, I love that it's reminding you of the charm via Olaf, who again could be an overblown character, but we're getting back to the simplicity of Frozen, which is Olaf is an audience connect. That's why
Hmm.
he could have very easily been. You go by that little teaser we got way back during the Frozen marketing.
Oh, that teaser is one of the fucking worst teasers, dude. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I mean, again, as
I
just a little
mean,
short
that
piece
talk
of
about
animation,
setting the audience up for something that the movie wasn't. You know what I was?
as
You
like
know
a
what I
short,
mean?
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's like I feel like that teaser, like, God, that teaser was like everything I didn't want the Frozen franchise to be, and I don't think it's ever gotten to that point.
Thank goodness. Again, wonderful little short piece of animation, but as like, hey, Frozen coming soon, kids. Terrible. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love that all of our fears of like what that could have been here. Like Olaf, the reason he worked and did not become that kind of little tease, like I'm the whimsical snowman, kids. He didn't become
Uh-huh.
that. Was that he's always been the audience connective. He's like he's the eyes in. Like he's calling out like Christoph says, like you hesitated there. Like he's that guy in the audience. He's the one calling out all like the little beats, and he's just kind of figuring out the world. And it just that's the charm of Olaf. He's us, the audience, in many respects, but he's also kind of you develop kind of a sympathy and kind of you see yourself in the character in that respect, and you're along with the journey with him. You're kind of rooting for him because of that, which is kind of the ingenious DNA of the character. I felt
Sure,
it's
sure.
kind of reminded me of. So, guys, I'm a talking snowman. That's impossible. Who am I? Josh Gad's delivery is just never waned with the snowman. My God, like Gad's delivery. Who am I? We're not doing it justice, but trust me, kids, it's good. So he's having a crisis. I'm having a crisis of identity. I think some fun stuff's kind of trouncing through. Like I'm made of snow and I'm
I'm made of
walking on
snow
snow.
and I'm walking on snow.
It's weird.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
I love the logical follow-up questions too. Again, like the illogical logic coursing throughout this. If you were Snow and you were brought to life, you got a lot to figure out. you know,
All
I'm lost and
right, so he comes.
confused.
Yeah, he comes across Oaken's wandering Oakens, and we're hearing Kristoff sing "Reindeers are better than people" in the background. Nice little callback there.
Barn songs. Say Olaf, he's so they get the fun retroactive callbacks too. Olaf being very postmodern before he's even modern technically, which is kind of funny. All right, so like Olaf's looking he's literally think about this. How clever this is. Olaf is literally looking for his place in the story. Is anyone missing
Yeah.
a snowman? So Anna, like then of course is asking this. Anna hits poor Olaf unawares with the door on her way to basically strike the carrot steal with Kristoff. And it's let's see. I love the symbol of the carrot, by the way. I love the symbol of the carrot. Where again, that's the symbol of his completion as a character, and just kind of the connection between everything. Where again, the carrots will connect him to the Anna story, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we get to Wandering Oakens. Dragon, naked Norwegian. Is that true?
I mean, I'm just looking at it. It includes Ann Sauna or something like that. So I think it technically works. I didn't do the
I
anagram
think
myself.
it works. It's amazing. I
I
think it
didn't,
actually works.
I didn't do the anagram, but it sounds accurate. I mean, I buy it with like Wandering Oak, the Wandering Oak, and if it's enough letters, I don't know,
So
and it's
that
accurate.
kind of blew my mind a little bit.
I know, right? Oh, I saw like the Easter egg from Frozen because we're using the same sets here. We have little Mike Wazowski carved in wood on the table.
Oh yeah, nice, nice.
All right, so of course, Olaf's blowing Oaken's mind,
Also,
along with us, the audience.
I love how Olaf already has Anna's, or I'm sorry, I love how Oaken already has Anna's old dress for sale.
I love that idea so much. That's what I'm talking about. That's the fun, the revisiting quality of this whole thing. Or yeah, she ditched the dress. I mean, it's quality. It's a royal dress right there. I mean, Oaken's
Right,
selling
right.
for a bargain, mind you, but still, it's all snow laden and everything. But why not? So then we have this beautiful moment. This is why I really like this short, man. We have moments like this. We have this beautiful moment where Olaf, after he's saying the whole like anagram thing, he's just like, I can't even read. I don't know how I did that. And Oaken, voiced by Chris Williams, Man Bros. Big Hero 6, has this wonderful line. You know what? I like you. What do you need? It's like that's your schoolbread moment, Tiki. That's it. That's it right there. I just love this. It's just the sense of you want to help this little snowman. It's like, yeah, it's celebrating everything you loved about Olaf in the first place through the Wandering Oaken character. Is also kind of a sweet character. It's just kind of this great, like, you know what, I like you. What do you need? It's just this wonderful kindness between strangers in a story.
Yep. All right, so we go through a series of noses. He wants a carrot nose, but they don't have any carrots, so we go through a bunch of gags.
Yes, and then also we have like the whole. I don't have any money. That's okay. Again, really, I love the pleasantries, man. I'm digging them. So yeah, we have all the nose montage. We go through like flags and paddle balls, and snow globes, and bottles of, let's just say, liquid for the kids. Uh, we have plungers, we have combs, and wild fish. But then we end up on the big thing, Tiki.
Yeah, what's the big thing?
Viewmaster. We're going 90s with it, man.
Oh, yeah,
Viewmaster.
right.
So he puts on the Viewmaster, and this is the heart of the whole thing right here. This the Olaf is introduced to summer. I thought this is an ingenious idea.
Oh,
How
it
would
was. It
Olaf?
absolutely was because, yeah, how would Olaf know? Yeah, right.
Because again, if he's created in snow, he's a snowman. Period. How the heck would he know? And Olaf's love of summer is born, and all these little Viewmaster cards. Again, the old-fashioned Viewmaster, which is also just a fun idea. We're playing the cues to the In Summer song, and like, we're seeing like all the lyrics of the song in these Viewmasters, like beaches, dandelions, rainbows, bees a buzzing. We see some Moana Islands, little Easter egg there, and little gazebo. Like the sets of the songs are even in this thing, man. It's genius. So, snowman and summer belong together, don't you think? I'm not so sure about that one, but again, he's got a movie to learn that. So, Oaken, he stumbles upon the solution, the most summery thing he has in the place.
A sausage, yeah, a summer sausage.
Yes, a summer sausage, buddy. Yeah. So then he just misses Kristoff and Anna as they're going off on a little adventure, and he says, "Ah, smells like processed meat." And then the cue, the wolf chase, which is directly a ripoff from Frozen Adventure. Let's be honest, but still, I'll give him a mulligan. So wolves, they get hungry.
Since when do wolves eat meat?
So we have this montage, this gag of like, is this a skill or a flaw? He all falls to pieces like a Mr. Potato. Like skill, flaw, skill, flaw. I like that whole runner.
Meanwhile, cut to you got engaged to someone you've never met.
Yep. So the interjections of Anna and Kristoff in the conversation is quite good. I love how you can follow the track to where we're heading here. It's like, yeah, we're just moving along this movie. Darn, very 1.5, Lion King 1.5-ish for sure. Didn't have like Olaf doing some fun snowman shenanigans, like he's becomes
the head on the sticks.
Yeah, head on like the hand on the stick arms and the snowmobile and use the buddy system. Then we have, I think, honestly, the most genius kind of Lion King 1.5 crossover parallel storytelling moment of the whole piece. The wolves, where Olaf, he loses the wolves, but they find a new target. They find
right.
They find Kristoff, which is great. It's so brilliant. It's like, yeah, that's how they found him. It's why they're coming out of the middle of nowhere. It's like Olaf led him there, but in the background, they'll never know. It's great. So Olaf seemingly in the clear, but womp womp, nose is broken. But then carrot falls from the sky. Eureka! Until sled falls, thanks to the wolves. And maybe I can still fight explosion. Olaf just has terrible luck. Maybe I can still salvage it. Olaf and Slay's never a good mix. Just never.
I love the reference to the explosion dragon. That's great.
Still unexplained how the explosion happens.
Right.
Oh god. So then we have so again, I love the symbol of the carrot. Yet again, so close but just gone. Again, the identity and the whole connecting point still gone. But a wolf finds him. But not an angry wolf, not a menacing wolf, not a Beauty and the Beast wolf, man. We just got like a hungry wolf, man. And he's whimpering. He's like, "Oh man, there goes my lunch." That's all I had. So
Olaf decides to give him the sausage nose.
You need it more than I do. Then we have this nice bit where he's licking the kindly snowman. Then the sun rises, and Olaf felt something in this exchange, Tiki.
Yeah, he felt a warm hug.
Felt like a warm hug, which then that's the line, man. That's the big trigger line right there. We go. It's it's the P. Sherman 42 Wallaby way of it all right now. The memory comes flowing back. Um, he gets the memory of Anna and Elsa creating him in the first place. Oh, I'm Olaf, not like warm hugs. Olaf, the man, the snowman has an identity. He has a name. He's found himself, and over the hill he finds. Based our money shot here, we have pictured here. We find Anna and Kristoff. Just again, this is absolutely like the whole Doug's special mission thing right here, like the big link up to the scene in
Uh-huh.
question. So that's, and I love the little nice paintings we have during the mid credits here, where we have like we don't need to see it animated again. We just see the nose being given to Olaf because one, we need to see him complete, but two, again, he is complete as a character with that nose. It's kind of lovely. It's like that's the thing. I love we don't have any new songs just kind of crammed into this, but it's like the origins of the songs. We're hearing the melodies before we're hearing songs. You know, it's quite nice.
Sure. Dragon, also one thing. Does it bother me as much? Does it bother you as much as it bothers me that they shove in 4.5 minutes of foreign credits for the different foreign languages?
That does bother me.
Because I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute short, and it's a 6-minute short, and I just, oh, that really got under my skin, Dragon. That really got under my skin.
Even worse, I mean, if you cut out just some, even with the regular credits, we're looking at probably 8 minutes, and then you have all the foreign stuff, which
That's what I'm saying, man. I feel like that's a regular thing with Disney Plus.
yeah.
Like, I'm not saying don't give the foreign credits their due. I'm just saying, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe only give the foreign credits if you're watching that particular dub. You know what I mean?
I mean, hey, that's good logic, but they have Disney Plus has that feature where they switch the languages. So that's why that's the case, I guess. But also Netflix has a similar thing. It's just not as long. I haven't seen it be this long. With the
It
thing like
really, I
four.
mean, it's just astounding. It's literally almost a third of the runtime of the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, it's half the runtime. It's like yeah, it's like 4 minutes. It's a half the runtime if you're
Oh
looking at the 8
God.
minute short.
All right, Dragon. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Hold
Again,
on, hold on. I think Claude's gone now, but we could address his two questions in case he watches the rest of
sure,
this
sure.
later. Into the Unknown is the new Let It Go. I think that Into the Unknown as a pop song is a little more palatable than Let It Go. I feel like there's more interesting things going on with it structurally than there are with Let It Go. Does that make sense, Dragon?
Uh,
Like I feel like the sequence in the movie is maybe like I would give Let It Go the edge in terms of the actual film sequence. But I'm saying, like, how much I love that Panic at the Disco cover of Into the Unknown. Like, I feel like Into the Unknown genuinely really works as like a kick-ass rock song. Like, I feel like Into the Unknown is a little bit more malleable in terms of like being played as a it doesn't just sound like a Broadway song, if that makes sense.
sure. I mean, Let It Go is just something that caught on, a la, like, yeah, as you said earlier, a la, like the part of your world of it all. Which again, it's like it's popular because it's a sequence from a Disney movie. Or Into the Unknown is a little bit of both. It's kind of a column A and column B. It's a little bit like, yeah, it's the big set piece from the movie, but also catchy. Yeah, pretty catchy.
Uh-huh. All right, and this is an interesting question. Would you mind a live action remake of Lion King 1.5 with Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner? A short. A short. I think a short would be fun. I don't think they could do a full feature of that, but a short would be fun. Dragon, Timon and Pumbaa, I don't know if you know this, but they're like by far the best parts of the Lion King remake, and they're literally the only people who have any new lines at all.
Hmm.
So I could see that working. I could see a short working. I absolutely don't want to see a full movie just because I have my feelings about Lion King 2019. I think that whole thing is just like the more it sits with me, Dragon, the more I dislike it. Anyways,
And yet you're gonna see the second one.
Okay, first of all, I run a Disney podcast, motherfucker, so I see a lot of things that I don't want to see.
I'm just saying the whole like I'm not it's all the denouncing of the Lion King, and yet just saying.
I am genuinely curious with Barry Jenkins, Dragon. Like we've gone
Godfather
over
Part
this.
Two with the lion.
We've gone over this. Barry Jenkins is an art house director, and I'm very curious to see what an art house director could do with Jon Favreau's video game world. All right. Anyways,
But yeah, I
final
mean,
thought.
look, I'll put it this way: Lion King 1.5 in the a live action remake of Lion King 1.5. That's one I would actually would actually watch instead of blind curiosity. I mean, look, the first one was dead on arrival. This one, I don't know. Okay, yeah, anyway, final thoughts. All right, so back to Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Snowman. Sorry. Uh, Look, it's a much easier task, sure, because you got to remember, like the bases were loaded on this one, and that we kind of have like we're definitely living a little bit of nostalgia for the first Frozen, but also like me again, we have like a little pocket of our space for the short, so we know exactly where we can fill in the real estate here. But again, this is as a given, it's more in the spirit of the first Frozen movie than the second one, and because of that, I mean, I really like it for the simplicity, and it recaptured the magic before it's about kind of the Frozen phenomenon. Let's keep it going. Let's do
I
more
will
stuff.
say they absolutely should not have released this in October. I don't know why the hell they released this in October.
Well, I want to say they're trying to get people on the hook for Mando, and it's like, hey, we got stuff coming.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know.
You
It
know,
just
one
seems
thing: if we
weird.
don't get WandaVision in December, it's going to be baffling why they didn't put this in December. I know that much.
We're getting WandaVision in December.
I hope so. I mean, that's the plan. And they're advertising it like that, but they haven't said it. That's what worries me. They haven't said it yet. I don't trust anything anymore.
All right. Well, I don't either. That makes two of us. At least we know we're getting Soul.
Yeah.
Dragon,
Well, have
I've said this before, I'll say it again. This year we're gonna get Soul and we're gonna get Mank. That's for sure. We're definitely getting those two things.
yep.
So as far as I'm concerned, the rest of the year is kind of like, you know what, I've got those two things to look forward to. Those are my big tentpole event movies. Anyways.
So, but again, I like it's about this. It's about doing something within Frozen before it's about like, hey, let's keep cranking out the Frozen stuff.
Yeah, sure, sure.
It's nice to fill in the blanks, all of the whole paralleling spin-off mini midquel, if you will. Again, it's Olaf asking the fundamental questions of self, which kind of leads to him being the key to it all within the original film, which is quite nice. And again, it's an innocent little short. Again, I love the Oaken interaction. It's quite lovely.
All right, yeah. Final thoughts from me. I think this was a really good piece of Frozen media, man. I gotta say, I really am like I'm more of a fan of the Frozen shorts they put out than I am a fan of Frozen 2. So in that regard, I think this is another successful like you said, it's a good back to the basics, kind of showing us why we fell in love with this character to begin with. And yeah, I'm just down with anything that does the Lion King 1.5 format. I just think that's such a funny way to play with old Disney movies. So I'm totally down for it. All right. Well, that'll do it for us this week. Oh, one more thing. I guess we should tease up, Dragon. Mando, that's coming. And
Mando.
folks, we're kind of under the wire to get all our Halloween stuff out for Haunted Holiday Hijinks. So for that reason, we're going to hold off on Mando until Sunday. So Mando will be coming Sunday, just so you know that, just to plant that flag. All right. That'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mano y mano! Just Plus and Us.
Yoo-hoo.